Welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun in Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic doing nothing in Toyotas is, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for another episode of the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast is the one and only Mr. Toyota himself, Jimmy Jet.
What up? How's it going?
Sup, y'all?
Hey.
How are you doing, man?
Good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Welcome to Studio L.
Studio L. We're back at well, I guess we haven't ever recorded here at the studio.
Not this studio.
No. Yeah,
I don't know if
this
this is this considered Studio L?
I don't know.
You got a Lance, so I would assume that one's Studio L.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we used to be in Studio L, but that was over there.
Yeah.
That wasn't
in Studio S.
Here. Yeah, studio. Yeah, I guess.
This is Studio BFE.
BFE, that works. Yeah, I'm sitting here in the studio looking out the window right now at a really big root ball.
Yeah.
Standing up in the air.
Yep. Still up in the air.
It's
still erect.
It is erect. That's a nice erection you got out there in your yard.
Yeah, thanks. It's a bit woody.
It is a little bit woody. Yeah, that's impressive, man.
Yeah, it's a big tree.
Yeah, the video you post makes it look like it's 5, maybe 6 foot root ball coming down, and it's a decent sized tree, but it doesn't do it justice until you're standing here looking at it.
Stand next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I'm standing next to your erection, then it really
then
comes to life.
You realize how large it is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you're over 6 feet tall.
I'm 6'4",
and you were standing next to it, and on the ground level, it is a few feet taller than you. But then there's a hole that's a few feet deep where the root ball was pulled out of.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, if you were standing in the hole, it would be probably like 10 feet tall.
I'm guessing 10 to 11. Yeah.
And at least 8 feet from the ground level. Yeah. It's what? 4 feet thick.
I would give that the whole root ball is definitely 4.5. That's a thick root ball. The trunk of the tree is 3.5 feet diameter at the base. The trunk,
maybe somewhere around there, 32, 36.
Yeah,
in that range. Yeah. Maybe
it's a
more than you could wrap your hands around.
Yes. Yeah. That's what she said. So, dude, that's impressive. When are we having a fun chainsaw day?
I don't know.
Chainsaw party
soon when it dries up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or something. I've been getting pushed off because of the weather. I'm supposed to have a tree trimming company come out here and take care of this root ball so then we can start trenching and get water back to this house.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have that second well, so we're backfilling the house from another well through a garden hose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I mean, and right out the kitchen window, which is, it's like you see it, sitting here eating food. You're like, oh, yeah, I still need to take care of that. Yeah,
Jimmy's erection is still right there in everybody's face. So
right where it should be.
Perfect. I've missed the board and the sound.
We haven't hit the soundboard in a while. It's been I'm too lazy. I'm leaning back in a couch and feet up, and the board's few arm lengths away from me. But sitting here in Studio BFE, it's here on the table right in front of me. So I can definitely have some fun with this thing.
Yeah. So expect a lot of
it. Sparkle farts. We got chaos to spread.
Expect a lot of that today. Chaos from Jimmy the Boardmeister. But it should be I think a fun episode today. This is a Thursday episode, so we're kind of filling you guys in on what's been going on in life. I think we're gonna do some reviews today. And then, we'll get to talk to everybody tomorrow.
Yeah.
On the new snail mail segment. So
we still have a bunch of voicemails to go through. So we're continuing the snail mail segment. I did consider, because we don't have a ton to talk about today, but I did consider maybe we'll just do some voicemails on this one too. And I'm like, we'll save them for
save them for snail mail. I do have a couple of updates that I forgot about from KOH.
Oh,
so we can get into
cover some of those.
We'll get into at least one of those because I think it's hilarious. And I know that the story got around to a lot of people. So
I think I know which one you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm a little sad about it, but at the same time, I think it was funny and I totally deserved it. So all
right.
It's a self-inflicted wound.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent.
But we have that. I have an update on the California DMV crisis that I've been dealing with the stupid 4Runner. And then I was looking at my notes on my phone here, and under my show corrections section of my notes, I have an Instagram reel. I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it is. So maybe we could pull that up and play that for everybody.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise for everybody.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, we got, let's see, housekeeping stuff. We have some giveaways going on. We have a set of inner bead locks from Coyote and Moreflate. So Coyote Enterprise and Moreflate is becoming a retailer for them. Yeah, so inner bead locks, a set of 4. So 17-inch rims is what we're giving away here. It's about $1,100 value for a lucky winner. And the cool thing about inner bead locks is there's a couple of nice things about them. There's no issues with DOT,
right?
Department of Transportation, because it's not going to damage your wheel or damage your tire or that interconnection between your tire and your wheel like normal bead locks do. The issue that supposedly in theory that DOT has with normal bead locks is that if your bead locks fail, they fail catastrophically, right?
You lose the tire.
The tire comes off your rim. Whereas if these inner bead locks fail in any way, you're not really impacting how your tire and rim interact together.
No, not really. I mean, I think if the tube failed, you would probably the pressure in the tire would go down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the space I think you'd still lose pressure in the tire. Like you could still get down to 0. And if there's a reason that the tube internally failed, it's probably losing air one way. So either the air is going into the tire,
yes,
or the air is leaving the tube.
Yeah.
And if it's leaving the tube, then maybe there is a space volume being taken up by that tube. So if all the air is gone, then the pressure in the tire would go from 30 to 25
or something. Yeah, maybe. So
maybe.
That's really it. That's kind of one of the big benefits of internal bead locks. The other big benefit is that it locks on your inside bead.
Yes.
Whereas regular bead lock wheels only lock on your outside bead. And then you've got, military locks that are kind of those PVC inserts that go in, you kind of bolt them in on both sides. Those lock in both your internal and external beads. I mean, not internal, inside bead and outside bead of your wheel.
Right.
Whereas internal bead locks will lock on both of them. There's no extra hardware to do it with. So yeah, that's the kind of the big benefits of internal bead locks. We're testing to see if those are something that we can bring back into
the market,
the
know-how, the knowledge,
because it seems like they've really died off. When you ask people about them, they're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So it seems like a lot of people just don't know about them. So we're kind of testing the market and seeing if that's something that is people want again, if people would want, if they knew the benefits of them.
Yeah.
We got a set of those for everybody. So if you guys want to get entered for that, head over to iRate 4x4 and get signed up underneath the Snail Trail 4x4 forum over on iRate. And then you can have a chance to win a set of internal bead locks.
Perfect.
Another giveaway we have going on.
Oh, yeah.
Is for reviews.
That it is.
We are bribing people.
Are we?
Yeah, we're bribing. Well, I guess not really.
It's not really a bribe.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, it kind of is. No, not really, because if we're, I don't know.
We're not asking for anything. We're asking for reviews.
Yeah.
And if you want to leave a review, you get to win a set of Yokohama tires.
You get a chance to win.
A chance to win. Yes. Good point there. Clarification. A chance to win a set of Yokohama tires. But we're not like that. Our sister podcast.
No.
That's like, if you give us 5 stars, we give you a sticker.
Yeah. What if someone gives them a 4-star? Do they not get a sticker?
They don't get a sticker.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. See, in ours, it doesn't matter what stars you give us. You're still getting entered to win a set of Yokohama tires.
We're unbiased. We'll take any stars.
Any stars.
We'll take whatever we can get.
Yes.
We're not picky.
Not at all.
That's funny. No, but once we get to 750 reviews, we are going to be giving away a set of Yokohama tires.
Yes, we are.
So pretty much whatever you're looking for. Underneath a 20-inch rim and DOT approved compounds of the tires. So in terms of off-roading, that's pretty much everything they have for off-roading.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any 20-inch rims in mud terrains or the all-terrains or extreme terrain.
I don't know.
In the bigger sizes, at least.
Yeah.
But you can get 40-inch MTs, the Geolander MTs, or you can get the 40-inch Geolander XMTs, or you can get the 37-inch XATs, which are an awesome tire. I think that's a fantastic option for a 37-inch tire.
You like the XATs for a 37?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do fairly well in the snow. They're definitely not like a mud terrain in the snow, at least in the Sierra snow that we get. However, they have fantastic traction across rocks for summer wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, especially if you're doing any kind of slick rock stuff like Moab, Sand Hollow, that 37-inch XAT has a ton of traction out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyways, great. They have some awesome options for off-roaders. Check them out if you guys are interested, and leave a review over on iTunes, or I guess Apple Podcasts, in order to get entered for a chance to win a set of their tires.
Yeah. And then every 50 reviews going forward until we get to 750, we're giving away a swag pack. We just passed 600 reviews, so we're coming up on that 650 here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 700, we'll give away a swag pack. And then 750, the Yokohama tires.
Sweet. I like it. I like it a lot.
And we'll get to reviews and give you that number here in a little bit.
Yep. What else do we got going on?
I just want to do a few announcements of some of the events that are coming up.
Cool.
Just some of the priorities. We've got Black Tie and Boots on March 9th.
Mm-hmm.
We have, what is this one? We have the Sue Bun fundraiser benefit that's on April 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Marlin Crawler Remembered that's on June 1st.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of kind of important stuff to us going on here. So obviously the Rubicon Trail is an important thing for Jimmy and I. So we're supporting Black Tie and Boots and going to be out there. Yep. There are still seats and tables available. So if you guys are interested, you're in the local to NorCal, it is a fantastic event. It's first and foremost, a big fundraiser. It's also kind of a big farce, right?
Oh, yeah.
The whole concept is it's getting together these super rugged, outdoorsy mountain people in for a black tie event. But we hate dressing up as rugged mountain people, right? And so we wear kind of the uppers of your ensemble are typically kind of leaning towards black tie-ish, but then from the waist down, it's jeans, cowboy boots, free game.
Sort of a mullet.
It is, yes. Right? It's like a mullet event.
It's like the business up top and party down below.
Yes, it is. So
I need to get some hammer pants.
Yeah, some hammer pants. There's a couple people that wore kilts last year.
Oh, nice.
One person wore swim trunks and like wader boots, like
nice,
like water boots kind of thing. So it's fun to see what people come up with for their outfits. There was another guy, Randy Burleson.
Okay. Yeah.
He wore grade 8 hardware for all of his buttons and out of his entire, so he had like a jacket, a nice stark white shirt with a bow tie. And then he wore grade 8 bolts and nuts for all of his buttons to hold his shirt together and his cufflinks and everything. It was pretty funny.
It's almost like an ABC party.
What's an ABC party?
Anything but clothing.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun event to go to. Everybody has a great time. It's a big fundraiser for Rubicon Trail Foundation. And there's some really cool items that are done. There's some really creative people in this community. So,
oh, yeah. Some big ticket items get sold. I mean, first and foremost, like you were saying, it is a fundraiser. So some of these items go for a lot of money, but all that money is going back to the Rubicon Trail Foundation and all the work that gets done out onto the Rubicon, which is fantastic.
Yep.
The Suli Bun Foundation or benefit is also a fundraiser for our good friend Sue that's going through cancer treatments, chemo stuff right now. So that's really close to our heart. They're good friends. We've had them on the podcast.
Yep.
we've wheeled with them in many places. They're just fantastic individuals. So we're definitely helping them out in every way we can. I was doing graphic design work for them. You've been getting things ready, and Moreflate's donating product probably to the raffle.
Yep.
And not to mention all the stuff you're doing on the back end with, the group chat that's working.
Yeah. It's a lot of so we're having the event at Prairie City.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a great venue to have it at. But Prairie City is very picky about insurance and liability and stuff. And so Moreflate is covering all of that for the event.
Nice. Okay.
And making sure that Prairie City is happy with anything that could happen.
Right.
Their asses are covered kind of thing.
Understood.
So we're dealing with all the paperwork, red tape side of stuff. But there's some really cool items coming out of the woodworks.
Oh yeah.
That are getting donated for the Sue Bun fundraiser.
Yeah. Cool.
It sounds like Cody Addington is going to be donating some signed panels from his car.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, the Clap Dragon, as you guys will hear about on Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's those. There's a couple other really cool items being donated from some other companies, and all those are now that we have the flyer, we're starting to hit up a bunch of the companies and just say, hey, you guys know Bun Trail Welder. Would you be willing to donate something cool for the event, for the fundraiser? So it's going to be some really cool items up for grabs, and 100% of the proceeds are going to Sue and her family.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the Marlin Crawler remembered, our good friend Marlin, last name I always butcher it. Chakowski.
Yep.
Passed away last year, and they're doing kind of a remembered event, celebration of life out at the Clovis Fairgrounds on June 1st. I'm going to be out there for sure. Tyler's going to try, he's going to put his foot down. He's going to try and make that, at least for the day. And, we're definitely going to, or at least I'm going to try to organize at least a meetup, whether it's just at a brewery or going out wheeling. It'll be one of those. So, we'll figure that out when we get a little closer, but just, keep that date in your calendars and know that it's there.
And so, and then that also comes to, we're coming up on 5 years with the podcast.
True.
And 500 episodes.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Early May, right?
Early May is kind of when that happens. So we're trying to figure out something to do to celebrate with everybody. So anybody who's in the area that can come out and join in with the celebration festivities, we'll keep you guys up to date. I don't know. We've been debating on trying to have something coincide with the Marlin event, but we don't want to take away from the event itself. So we might be doing something else. We're still talking and deciding, but keep your ear holes open and we'll let you guys know.
All right.
Speaking of fundraisers.
Okay.
We have the MF Moreflate trash bags, the trail trash bags up on the website. So if anybody's interested in those, you can go on and get them. Essentially, we've created a new section to the website that is about fundraisers and kind of creating a fundraising product so that we can just give back even more, giving back to our trail systems and our trails and trail advocacy organizations, making sure that they can do their jobs with expensive litigations and fights that we're going to have ahead of us as 30 by 30 becomes closer and closer. That's a very important goal of mine that I wanted to set up for Moreflate. And so we officially have launched the fundraiser section of the website. Everything on there, we're setting up the prices so that $20 from every sale goes back to a nonprofit organization of your choice. And right now we have up Blue Ribbon Coalition, California 4-Wheel Drive Foundation, and Rubicon Trail Foundation as the three options. But if you guys know of other 501c3 or 501c7 organizations that are doing trail advocacy, get me in touch with them and we'll add them on there for people to choose from nationwide. Cool. So in the United States. So let us know if there's any organizations you'd like to see up there and we can work on adding them. Right now, the trail trash bags are up there. And then we're going to be looking at adding some other fun things here. I think before summertime is my goal to get them up there.
Cool.
So
sounds good. Yeah. I know one of those items, which I think a lot of people would be interested in coming up here. So that I think people should be excited for that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that the end of updates?
I think that's the end of updates and
20 minutes
stuff going on.
Sounds good.
Some fun stuff going on.
Should we jump into doing a few reviews and then kind of move into what we've been up to?
Yeah, let's head over and talk about some reviews. So we are at 623.
Wow. Okay.
So
that was a good little jump right there.
Yeah, we had a little lull there where we didn't get any reviews and all of a sudden we got like 50 of them. So thank you guys. Keep it up. Keep the reviews coming in. Every 50, we do a swag pack. We just did one and to JZTRD69. He got a fun little swag pack. He said he received it.
Awesome.
And then once we reach 750, like we said earlier, we're doing a set of Yokohama tires. So leave as many reviews as you guys can. You just have to remember which reviews you left, and hopefully you still have access to those accounts so that you can prove that you left the review and we can get you a set of tires when the time comes. So we're here at Mr. or Mrs. B Hall 90.
B Hall 90. Thanks for leaving a review.
Yeah, it says great podcast. Just started listening to this podcast, and so far it's good. You sound surprised.
We all are.
Too bad they are not Gladiator guys. Maybe my Gladiator on tons and 43s can keep up with the Toyotas. Either way, it's a good podcast. P.S. Send me that winch.
Well, get you some tires.
We'll get you some tires instead.
Maybe.
Yokohama doesn't have anything bigger than 40s.
I know. We need to fix that.
I know. We need to get
talk
on
to
them. Maybe we can design a 42 for them.
Sure.
And have it be the Snail Lander. The Snail Lander MT.
Yeah. Or the Trail Lander.
The Trail Lander MT? That'd be fun. All right, Yokohama, we're going to call you guys.
Geo Trail.
Jeff, Ryan, we're calling you.
We just need to 3D scan their tire and just sort of blow it up a little bit.
Yeah. Blow up the dimensions.
Yeah. It's just that easy.
That's all it is. Yeah. So yeah, thanks B Hall. Hopefully we still have you as a listener after all of our Gladiator ragging in the past couple episodes.
I don't know. I think they're still hanging in there.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah. Well, he's not a real Gladiator if he's on tons and 43s.
No?
No.
What would that make him? A Jeep owner?
He's just a regular Jeep owner at that point. Yeah. We got another one from Jot94.
Jot94
It says, best podcast. Love all the great information and all the different topics, even though I've got an LS powered JK. Been listening since the High Sierra days. You guys are really making me want an older Tacoma. Yeah, boy.
Do it. Take that LS and then put it in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Put the LS in your Tacoma.
Yeah.
And that's what we should do. Get rid of
LS,
the JK. Nobody
tons, 40s.
You could probably still sell the JK with no engine in it for like 40,000.
Maybe.
You can buy a whole Tacoma and swap the LS in for less than what you're going to sell the JK for.
Depending on what's underneath the JK. You might want the axles.
Maybe.
And tires.
Maybe.
And maybe suspension.
Well, he's going to win a set of tires.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's he can get with the Tacoma, he can get a 4-wheel underground suspension.
Yes.
That's the way to go. Especially, have you seen the cantilever stuff he's been posting?
I'm so jealous.
Oh my God.
I might want to trade mine in.
Yeah. I had to have some special alone time with my phone for a while.
Looking at your Instagram account and bathroom.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm really excited for that. I love the way he's integrated the sway bar.
Yes.
And with selectable hubs.
I know. That's so cool.
So you can just disconnect the sway bar.
Somebody was commenting on one of his most recent posts, like, why are there hubs in the center there? And he was like, well, we integrated the sway bar and we made it easy, quick disconnect sway bar setup with just hubs.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's using bearings instead of polyurethane stuff.
A full-on spindle and bearings for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a rad design.
It's super cool. So yeah, man, if you go with the Tacoma, sell the JK for 40 grand, put the LS into the Tacoma and get some 4-wheel underground stuff.
Yes. Do it.
Next one is from KG7BTU. That sounds like a ham radio call sign if I've ever seen one.
KJ7BTU.
KG7 Kilo Golf.
Yes, it does sound like a radio ham sign.
I believe KG7, that's Indiana area. But it says, I am not a Toyota guy. So we're not going to read the last of it.
Okay.
It's
the last 3 reviews have not been Toyota guys. It sounds like our night run up Fisher.
I was just going to say that. Freaking all these XJs and ZJs and WJs showed up, we were inundated. I was like, wait a minute. Is this our target market?
Is this our demographics?
Is this what we're looking at here? Those guys were a lot of fun, though. Anyways, he says, I'm not a Toyota guy, but the podcast is still entertaining and informative. I'm enjoying the technical guest discussions. Well, good. We have a couple of really good technical guest discussions coming up. So you guys should be looking forward to Monday and Monday, this Monday, next Monday. And last one for today.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Mini Truck Man.
Yay. My friend.
Yeah. Come to us, my people. Love the podcast, says Keep On Wheeling. Love the podcast. I grew up being a Toyota guy. Uh-oh. Never mind. Daily drive a Tacoma. I've had a couple Samurais, but now I wheel a Jeep God dang it. I wheel a Jeep currently, building it, and it's a CJ10A. But wow. I love listening to the podcast. You guys have a great content and love how much you guys are into the maintenance of trails and keeping them open.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do find that important.
You need to change your name because it's very misleading.
Yes. Maybe CJ10A used to be mini truck guy.
Yeah, right. Man. There you go. So we're 3 for 3, 4 for 4 on Jeep stuff today. 1, 2,
4 for 4.
4 for 4 on Jeep reviews today. You guys are disappointing. Oh man.
Soundboard coming in clutch.
Here we go. Anyway, so that's all we're going to do because now I'm just depressed about reviews for today. So we'll leave it there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Maybe I can cheer you up.
You magnificent bastard. I salute you.
I feel much better now. That was amazing. Good job.
Glad to hear it.
All right. So that does it for reviews.
Okay.
Do we want to see what this Instagram reel is?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
First off, Jeep people. Do we have any Jeep people out there? Okay, we got some Jeep folks out there. If you don't know, they're the people who are riding on what is basically PVC pipes and tires with bugs hitting them from every angle. Here's why I can't do Jeep people, y'all. They claim to love Jeeps, but you can't love something and then immediately tear it apart so it's less of the thing that it is. Jeep people, be honest with yourselves. You don't want a Jeep, you want a street legal go-kart. A Jeep is just a motorcycle for cowards, y'all. Big slam on the people who actually own a car, unlike me. All right. I will be hopping into your Jeep, because who's going to stop me? Not your doors. First off, Jeep.
Oh, that was perfect timing. I love it.
That was perfect. Especially after those reviews.
I had no clue what that was. And as soon as it popped up, I was like, oh, I remember what this is now. This is going to be great. So anyways, there you go, Jeep people.
Yep. Let me know when I can jump in your rig because you don't have any doors.
You don't have any doors. So, no one's going to stop me anyways.
Yep. No. Bobcat's been known not to have any doors.
You did jump into somebody's Jeep and move it in a parking lot one time.
I did.
But he had doors.
Yep.
And he didn't like that.
No, he did not. That was yeah, he really did not like that.
He did not.
He should not leave his Jeep running out in front of a supermarket in the middle of the road.
Yeah, blocking all the traffic.
While he runs in to grab one item.
Yeah. I thought you were being very kind and moving it to a safe space in a parking spot for him, because we're like, why is this Jeep just running in the middle of the parking lot, in the front of the store, the middle of the thoroughfare?
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyways,
Jeep people.
Jeep people. That's good stuff. Anyways, let's see. What other updates? Do we have any other updates? Any fun stuff to get to?
No, I think we're ready for what in the butt.
All right.
And we'll do FNGs and birthdays and stuff on at the start of the month, and voicemails tomorrow. So
cool.
I think we're good.
Sweet, man. So then that leads me to a burning question.
Oh,
burning desire.
I'm ready.
I need to know.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
Oh, okay. My turn, huh? Let's see. I haven't done a whole terrible.
Oh my God. Sorry. Just real quick. Over your shoulder, there's a cat card.
Yes, there is.
And I didn't realize it was a card. So as you were just now moving, it came into view over your shoulder, and I thought your cat was climbing up to the window on the outside.
It was licking the window.
I was like, wait, then I realized it was a card. So anyways, continue.
All right. There's a cat card behind me, by the way.
It
The
looks
Valentine's Day card.
Yeah.
That is a cat.
Yeah. It's thank you.
Now that we can clarify that for the listeners. Let's see. So the other day, I forgot what day it was. It was Thursday or Friday. And I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, and he was changing his axle out of the front of his Trailblazer or something like that.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, does this seal look bad?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yes."
Yes,
it does. He's like, "Okay." And I said, "You're that deep anyway. You might as well replace it.
Yeah.
Get it out of there." He's like, "Okay, thanks." And then he calls me like an hour later. He's like, "Hey, do you have a seal puller?" I go, "Yes, I do."
Yep.
And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna run some errands and, go get some fluid, and I'll let you know if I need it." And I said, "Okay." So then he calls me back an hour or so later. He's like, "I can't get this seal out. Can I come grab that seal puller?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Hey, I'm fairly free the rest of this day. Like, why don't I swing over there and I'll just give you a hand?"
Mm-hmm.
He was so appreciative.
Nice.
But I go over there with the seal puller, and it like 30 seconds later, the seal's out.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "God damn it." Like,
it's amazing what the right tool for the job
yeah,
can do for you.
he was trying a screwdriver and a hammer and a little pry bar and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it wouldn't get the seal out. So then he bought a new seal, but then after we got the seal out, we noticed that they weren't the correct seals. So we went back to the auto parts store, exchanged the seal. And when we were at the auto parts store, he's like, "There's the seal puller right there.
Yeah.
$13 on the shelf. Like 2 hours ago, I could have had the seal out for $13.
Yep.
I should have just bought it."
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. And so, so we got the right seal. We went back to his house. We put the correct seal in. That took getting the seal into the front differential was a little bit of a pain in the butt. There just wasn't a lot of room to get it to get the hammer in there and, to get everything to seat correctly. Took a few tries and a few hands and a few hits to a finger or a thumb. But
sorry, you don't need those.
No,
you're good.
They still work.
Yep.
But yeah, so it took a second to get that in. And then the hardest part was getting the axle shaft back in.
Really?
Yeah. So was
it just not lining up, or?
No, I think it was lining up pretty good. I'm not entirely sure. They have those snap rings on the end of the axles, right?
Okay.
And so you have to get that snap ring to compress around the axle, so then it'll slide into a position, and then the snap ring will open up.
Gotcha.
And then it locks itself in.
Okay.
So we used a slide hammer with a tool to grab the backside of the axle shaft, and he was able to slide hammer, I'm doing hand motions here for Tyler. Slide hammer the axle shaft out.
Uh-huh.
But you can't put the slide hammer on the opposite side of the axle because there's the boot there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no real way to get it in there. So really what we ended up doing was we pretty much lifted the lower control arm up to it was in a good spot. And then we just compressed everything against each other. And we were just hitting it with a rubber mallet.
Okay.
And it went in a little ways, but it still didn't go in all the way. The trick that saved the day, so I wanted to let everybody know this, is if you're dealing with the front diff, engage your four-wheel drive. Because then it pushes everything on the inside further out and locks it into place. So things aren't moving around on the inside. Things aren't, sliding in and out. If you're using a rubber mallet, it's not just bouncing around on the inside. It locks it into place. And then when you're using the rubber mallet and trying to line everything up, it works so much better because now you're hitting against a solid object instead of something that's moving internally.
Yeah.
So once we engaged four-wheel drive, everything went together from there.
Nice.
Super easy. So my buddy was super appreciative that I was actually able to come over. He was at wit's end. He was just like everything that was going on that was messing up. He was like, "God damn it, this stupid car. I don't know why I started this project. I thought it would be an easy project. Here I am, elbows deep, 6 hours later." you know, and I just got, you know, I was over there for an hour or two. Just, you know, the hardest part was getting that axle shaft in, and that took the most amount of time. So, and then there was a train that went through town that stopped us. You know, we went to the auto parts store and we had to get back to the other side of the tracks, and we had to wait for this long ass train. So that was the second longest delay that we had. But yeah, it was fun to go over there and help him out. And it was funny because I didn't know exactly what tool he needed. So I went and grabbed all like my Gearwrench pliers and, you know, just, what do you call it? Clamps and the pullers. And I grabbed the seal, thing that you can use to slam the seal in. You know, I brought over like all these trays and these different clamps and things, and showed up. And then all I really did was use the seal puller, and that was all I needed. But it was fun. It was good to work with a buddy that I've never really, you know, like we've been friends from high school, but I've never worked on a car with him. And it was nice to be able to be that guy that was called upon when they needed a hand. So that was pretty cool.
Do you have a hero complex like I do?
I don't know, but it was rewarding. I'm glad I was able to help. I don't feel like I need to go out of my way into a blizzard and go and help somebody. But if I'm called upon, I'll go and do it. If somebody really needs the help,
I might be going tonight. You want to go?
Is there an adventure out there?
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah, I know. I've got to kind of figure that out, because we had a late night last night. We have a late night tomorrow night. And I don't know if I can do 3 nights in a row. So I've got to figure that out.
It's the mini assistant's tech week for her play.
That's right.
And every day this week she has theater, and the assistant has stuff going on tonight. And so I have to pick the mini assistant up from theater. So if you're going out after 7 o'clock, I could probably do it.
No, I think we're trying to leave around 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you can get back before 6 o'clock, I might be able to do it.
Yeah. We had a buddy is dead in the water out on the Rubicon this weekend. And so he was able to yesterday get his rig back into Wentworth Springs campground.
Okay.
But they couldn't get it any further. So they're going back in today with my doppelganger, Justin Braun.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they're going to go in today, this evening, and try and pull him out. Wow. So I'm debating on from here, going back to the warehouse and seeing if I can get the tracks on the 4Runner.
Shit, let's make it. All right. So that was all for today, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gone. We're out of here. See you guys. But I don't know. We'll see. Because again, it's going to be another late night, and I have a very, very pregnant wife at home.
Yes.
And I don't know if it'd be good to have 3 late nights in a row.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we did a late night recording with an individual that you're here on Monday, yesterday, and if you go out wheeling tonight and recovery tonight, it would be a late night, and then we have another interview on Wednesday night for you guys in the future Monday.
Yep.
So yeah, we got a little busy schedule over here. But
yeah, man, I feel you there on that reminds me of a fun video that was going around for a while. It's this dude sitting there with a hydraulic hose. Okay. And the hydraulic hose is 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch OD hose, and it's only like 6 inches long.
Sure.
And the guy's sitting there, he goes, all right, so you and I are going to install this hose, and we're going to say some things to each other that are going to be very bad things.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of anger over the next couple of hours. But once we're all done, we're going to shake hands, and we're going to act like that never happened. And but realize that over the next couple hours, we're going to hate each other, and we're going to say some things that we don't mean to each other. Yeah. So just prepare yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, he wasn't yelling at me. He was yelling at my buddy was yelling at his car and just yelling at he was like, I should have never done this. Like I'm in over my head. I thought it was something I can handle. And I was like, nah, man, you're good.
Yeah.
Like we're going to get this thing, man. We're going to get this thing buttoned up, and then you're going to be smarter because you took this on.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that I can be here just to solve the problem, which was really for the most part, all he needed was the seal puller, and he probably could have continued on. He would have struggled getting the axle back in, the axle shaft back in, but I think he would have figured it out. But he was definitely just frustrated with the day. It was one of those projects that's like, oh, it shouldn't take that long. And here we are 6 hours later, right? That he's just like, oh, we're not back together yet. It's getting dark outside. We've got to pull some lights out. And so he was just tired. It was one of those things that just things weren't going his way.
Yeah.
Right. He was like, I went in to do this one simple job and now I'm diving deeper because things are not quite ready, or not right, and he pulled the axle shaft out and he's like, I was a little worried when no oil came out with it. I'm like, did you check the oil? He's like, no, but I'm going to completely drain the front diff now and add oil to where it needs to be. I said, smart.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then this weekend we went wine tasting.
Nice.
It was President's Day weekend for us.
Oh, that's right.
Or for a lot of people. And the assistant had Monday off. And the mini assistant was at her father's house through Monday.
Okay.
Or to Monday. We had to pick her up on Monday. So we had the weekend free.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice. And so we went up to the Fair Play area.
Yep.
Went to our, we have 2 winery accounts. What do you call those? Memberships. Yep. We have one at Shadow Ranch, which we like a lot. They have good red wines and some good white wines. And then we have a membership at Skinner. And so we went in that order. We did our pickups. We got some wines. We brought a few cases back with us. And then we spent the night at a little Airbnb just up in that area.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was cute. It was a nice property. They built some 3 cabins that they're like duplexes in a way. They're like they're like double suites that share a wall. Suites. So what's a one-roomed house called? It's not a
mini
suite.
House.
No, they have a name for it where it's all like, there's just one room and it's your bedroom, bathroom, kitchen setup. I forgot the name of it now. Somebody will tell me. Anyway, so they have just like 2 rooms, one building shares a wall. It was super basic and it was like $300 to spend the night. And we're like, I guess it's all about location. Because it definitely wasn't worth $300 to rent a room for a night. Up there for just, a fairly basic log cabin-ish room. But it was nice to be able to not have to drive home and be able to relax. Like I could see spending $200 for that spot, but not $300. It was just, it was a little beyond.
Yeah.
But it was location.
Yep.
But yeah, we drank all day and then we went to the cabin and we had a bottle of wine and then we went out to dinner.
Okay.
At the Cork and Brew place and had a beer there. And then we came back and I grabbed the whiskey bottle out that we brought and I started sipping on the whiskey and I'm like, I'm done. I need to go to bed. Like
a full day of wine tasting. It catches up to you. I mean, you think you're spreading it out over 6-7 hours sometimes of going around to 4 or 5 different wineries. But you think about if you're doing the full tasting at every winery, you're having 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Roughly at each winery, 1.5 maybe. Depends on how heavy their pours are.
Yeah. The first place was heavier. And the second place is they have those like mechanic ball things on the top where that only gives you like half an ounce or whatever it is. So that everybody gets the same even pour.
Yeah. Typically Fair Play I found really, really good. That's our normal stomping grounds. And it just seems like all of the wineries in Fair Play are still grassroots down to earth,
low key
wineries. And so they'll do heavier pours. If you're a regular, then they'll show you the secret stuff that they're not pouring to everybody, but they have open for the day kind of thing. So they don't typically charge unless and a lot of them now are going to, they'll give you back the refund if you just buy a bottle before you leave.
It's like $5 or $10 tasting fees. And if you buy a bottle, it's waived.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not Napa, right?
Yeah, Napa's not Napa.
So different.
Yeah. Napa, $10-$20 per tasting and that there's no waiving it.
Nope. So it's $20 for a tasting. And if you buy a bottle, you're still paying your $20 tasting fee.
Yep. So anyways, Fair Play is an awesome spot. I love going out there because it's still just down to earth and low key. And they're
like they're normal the person people. That typically the person pouring your wine is the winemaker.
Yes. Yeah.
Or like the owner, which is a lot of fun. Then you just get to sit down and you talk with them and it's not a very busy area. Yeah. So there's like 2 or 3 other couples or, family or friends in that tasting room. And so it's all super friendly. You know, you're all talking about where have you gone today? Where else are you going? What wineries do you enjoy? Where should I try next?
Yeah.
So we went to Skinner. That was our last stop. And somebody at Skinner was telling us that we need to go to Charles B. Mitchell.
Oh,
which we've seen many of times. We've never actually stopped there.
Yeah.
So the next morning we were like, well, let's go try Charles Mitchell. It's literally like 100 yards away from, or a few hundred yards away from where we were staying.
Wow.
And we're like, okay. So we drove over there and we went into their tasting room and it was so low key. It was like most ridiculously low key place, you know, like the girl behind the counter was tatted up, like had like different color hairs, was wearing a flannel shirt and some jeans, you know, and that's like, I'm totally fine with that. I have no problem with that. But, you know, you assume that a winery is like posh, right? You need to be super dressed up, need to have, you know, at least a collared shirt on, you know, and this place was nowhere near it. And I actually really liked that because I
love that.
It's different than, you know, it's like, no, you don't need to be this high class, you know, pinky up person drinking wine. This is a low key thing. Yeah. And it totally was. It was really chill. And so we were drinking there. We had one or two to three tastings. And then the lady was like, you know, they're doing bottle your own wine in the back right now with free pizza if you want to sign up for that. I was like, what? And we were like, that's so awesome. Okay. And she's like, yeah, just, you know, if you're going to buy the wine, then this tasting's waived, you know, just go back there, sample the wines that are being bottled right now. They're, you know, they're fresh, you know, they're going in, they're just coming out of the barrel, going straight into the bottle. So they're going to be very sharp tasting, but you'll get an idea of what's out there. And so they were bottling Zin, Cab Franc, and Syrah.
A Petit Syrah.
Petit Syrah. Thank you.
Those are two of my favorite wines, Petit Syrah and Zin.
Yeah. And the Cab Franc was delish too. And so we bought a case. We bought 4 bottles of each. Nice. And which was really cool. So then we did a few of the tastings and the lady behind the counter was like, you know what? There's a lot of people bottling right now. Let me fill your glasses up a little bit and you guys go get some pizza. And we're like, okay. So we went and grabbed some pizza and, you know, the assistant is vegetarian. And so we told the pizza people like, hey, can you make a vegetarian one? And they're like, actually one's coming out of the oven right now. Perfect. Right. And they had some pepperonis out. So I grabbed a few of the pepperonis and the vegetarian one came out and she grabbed a few of those and we sat down and we ate and then cleared up the bottle plant area or where everybody was bottling. So we walked back there and we're like, we've never really done this. Like, how do you do it? And it's super easy. It's all, for the most part, automated. Okay. You literally, like, there's a valve that sticks down and the spring on it, and you shove the bottle up on the valve, and the spring sort of actuates something that lets the wine flow in. Okay. And it knows how much wine per bottle. Okay. And so you just shove the wine bottles up onto this, and it fills the bottle up for you to the right amount. And then you take the bottles off.
Okay. When you cork it, does it remove the oxygen, replace oxygen with nitrogen or anything?
No.
Okay.
So I was kind of curious about that. Maybe if Jason's listening, he could talk about that. Because the corking, all it did was, so you put it in another machine for the corking and you put the bottle in and then you put the cork on it or up on this another section. And then you shut the door and it automatically had a piston that came down and shoved the cork down to the correct depth. Okay. And so the corking was super easy as well. Yeah. But it just shoved the cork down. It didn't put any nitrogen or anything inside of the bottle. So there is an small amount of oxygen shoved in there. Yeah. So I did ask, like,
I wonder if it's just enough to react with the wine and take off some of the sharpness. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I am curious about how that works. I asked how long, you know, I said the wine is super sharp because it's fresh. How long should you let it sit in the bottle before we should really start tasting it? And the lady behind the counter says, well, I buy a case of each and I start drinking one bottle at 2 months. Okay. And then I drink another bottle at 3 months. And then I drink another bottle at 4 months. Okay. And then when I figure out when I really like it, Then I just drink the rest of the bottle.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, well, we'll start at 2 months and we'll go to whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll be done with our bottles.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And so it's Charles B. what?
Charles B. Mitchell.
Mitchell. Okay.
Yeah. It was a fun, really cool spot. They have tons of wines, tons of different types of wines.
Okay.
And he's been one of the longest vineyards and wineries up in that area.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that spot yet. And that's kind of our normal area. So.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Okay.
So then afterwards, somebody, I don't know if I must have been through the podcast. I'm not quite sure where. It might have been you. I don't know. Somebody told me to go to Plein Air, and I wrote a note.
I think that was me.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would recommend that place for sure.
Okay. And I wrote a note down in my phone.
Uh-huh.
And I said, and I told the assistant, I have a note in my phone for somewhere that somebody suggested that we go next time we're up in this area.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's do it. And so we looked it up, and it's not like in our normal, like close knit little area of wineries. It was 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So we decided to do it on the way home because we could turn it into a loop and get home a different route. We absolutely loved that spot.
So Plein Air, that is the spot that has a bunch of like farm stuff inside, right? Inside the tasting room area.
It has older looking stuff.
Yes.
I wouldn't say, I don't know if you would, I would
Antique-y
go
stuff?
antique stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's the place to think of.
the wine owner, when they were opening that barn, they went to France and they went to an auction house thing or a bunch of old places, and they just bought all this antique stuff from France, filled a 40-foot cargo thing, sent it all back to their house in the Fairplay area, Amador-ish area, and outfitted that barn with all this antique stuff. Because I asked him, I said, where did you get the super old windows? Like the glass of the window is wavy. You know, you can tell that it's been glass for a long time. Yeah. Because it just had that wavy look to it. And then he started telling us that story about how they went to France, got everything. Then we started looking around. We're like, oh, wow. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, all their wines were delicious. So the assistant has a rule that she won't sign up for a wine club unless she likes every single wine in the tasting. So we signed up for that wine club. Yep.
That was kind of our first time going there. They're a relatively new winery in the area.
They opened in 2021, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
He said they bought the place and started building it, and then COVID happened.
Yep.
And he was like, it was perfect because then we didn't have to rush to get things built. You know, we could take our time and build everything and still make wine. And then when we opened, we already had wine that was made. Yeah. And the building was done, and they could open the facility and start doing tasting. So I was like, cool. Glad that worked out.
Yeah. There's very few wineries where I like every single wine there.
Yeah.
Locke is one over off Highway 4, right before Murphy's. Yeah. They're at the kind of the southern end of town of Murphy's. I like every single wine there. I'll take anything there. And Plein Air was the other one.
Yeah.
We literally went there. It's like a new winery. We're like, we're not sure how we feel about it, but we're going to go check it out.
Sure.
And every single wine we had was amazing. Yeah. And so the in-laws, I ended up getting a membership there, a wine club there. And so now when we go in, we say that we're Bob and Karen. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll have them meet up one time at an event party. So it was super tasty. If it was you, thank you for the recommendation. If it was somebody else out there that did tell me, I appreciate that recommendation. We had a fantastic time there. Yeah. And then we drove home. And on the way home, we got a text from one of the assistant's friends, and they wanted to meet up at a brewery.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah. And then, but we had like an hour and a half to kill. We had roughly an hour and a half to kill before we needed to meet, and we were half an hour away. Okay. So we went to Dutch Bros in El Dorado Hills and sat down and got food and had a hot shot. Oh, sorry. Beach Hut.
Okay, that makes more sense.
The other cool, fun spot. Yeah. Yeah. So Beach Hut. We went to Beach Hut in El Dorado Hills, got food. I got a Santa Cruz. The assistant got a super salad. Okay. We had a Hawk Shots and just chilled there for 45 minutes or so. And then we drove down to the brewery which I did not know there's a new brewery in Granite Bay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's on Douglas and Auburn Folsom.
Okay.
Over by the Dutch Bros.
Yeah. Yep.
It's over there. Super good beer.
Nice.
Yeah. I was stoked. I did a flight of all their non-IPAs.
Okay.
And they were tasty.
Nice.
I'm not a super big IPA fan. They did have a
like
hazy,
IPAs.
but I chose the other ones. They had a brown, an ale, a strong ale, blonde, and a red.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds
Good
like
assortment.
my past exes. An assortment of my exes.
I want to hear about the strong ale.
Yeah. That one, we don't talk about that one that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, super fun, chill spot. So had a flight there and then, cruised home and we pretty much passed out again.
Yeah.
This was like a, full day of low key drinking.
Yeah. How's your gout after the weekend?
No flare ups. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know maybe I was stressed out in life or was having problems or
it's Dylan.
Super dehydrated. Yeah. Or I just am not drinking that much.
Yeah.
Because I did drink an immense amount.
It was a lot.
That or I'm just drinking more water these days. So I haven't had a gout flare up since that event, I believe. So I don't know. I'm also taking tart cherry extract pills.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, witch's rule or whatever that supposedly those are good for you, but they can't really prove it.
Yeah.
A lot of people just say, oh yeah, tart cherry is good for gout. And
interesting.
Yeah. And so I've been taking those pills, but yeah, I haven't had a flare up in a few years. So it's been, super nice. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to, fingers crossed, I'm not going to have any problems.
Yeah.
But, red wine and beer are more harsh on my body for gout than
Liquors.
harder alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clear alcohols are easier than discolored alcohols.
Gotcha.
And red wine with the tannins is up there for sure. So even white wine, white wine for me is better than having red wine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I can't do it. It's too sweet.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So
Well,
that
cool.
was
That's a fun
my
weekend, man.
weekend. It was a fun weekend. Yeah. And then I forgot, maybe it was Monday that my buddy had the problems. That's what it was. It was Monday that my buddy had the problems.
Okay.
And then the assistant went to go pick up the mini assistant. And I went over to my
That's right,
friend's
yeah,
house
first time. I gotcha.
to go help my buddy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm jealous. We've been on baby watch for, almost a year now. So we haven't been able to really go wine tasting, and I just sit around home and drink the wine myself.
Sure.
So we're starting to finally get low, but I know that the secretary is dying to get out and do some wine tasting again. So we'll have to make a couple days to go out to plein air and whatnot.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're in.
Cool. Well, yeah. Speaking of baby watch, this kid is freaking active, and it's getting to the creepy status.
Oh,
like because
can you see things coming through the tummy yet?
Yeah. We can see like feet and legs pushing through her tummy, and it's so weird. It's really weird.
There's something growing inside of you.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
We're at full term. We're at 38 weeks.
Yep.
Next week will be 39 weeks, and the baby's supposed to come at 40, which is March 3rd. But he still hasn't dropped yet. Oh. And typically in this last 2 weeks, they're typically dropping, and he hasn't dropped yet. So we think he's going to be a little later. I'm still aiming for February 29th.
Yes.
But with being on baby watch, I'm not getting really to go out and do anything now.
Nope.
All I really did was I built a shelf. That took me about 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
This weekend.
For what? What was the shelf for?
In the baby room, just a little bookshelf kind of thing up above the changing table.
Yeah. Speaking of the baby room, what happened with the changing table?
Oh.
Do you have a conclusion to that?
No. Well, yes, I do. It's not what I wanted, though.
Oh, no.
I really wanted the toolbox, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about it, why a toolbox would be awesome. And I told the secretary, I was like, I'm going to put a toolbox up there. I'm going to get a toolbox and put it up there and as the changing table and convert it into a changing table. And she goes, no, that's stupid. It's going to clash with the room.
Sure.
It's going to be dumb. And I'm like, you're dumb. get out of here. I'm doing a toolbox. I was like, have you got a changing table yet? Have you decided which one you want? She goes, no. And I was like, all right, well then it's going to be who gets one first, a toolbox or a changing table. Which one is it? And she like the next day pretty much went out and got a changing table. So we might have a toolbox coming though.
Yeah, there might be.
I might end up moving things around.
Oh yeah,
and not tell her and see how pissed she gets.
How that goes.
Yeah. So we'll see once they come in. We reached out to Gearwrench and said, hey, we love this relationship. Let's continue it this year. What kind of stuff do you guys have coming out that we can help tell everybody about? Mm-hmm. They're expanding their shop tools and lifting equipment.
Yes, they are.
So they're coming out with floor jacks, jack stands, and a couple other fun things. So we have a couple of those on the way that we're going to get to play around with and give you guys feedback on.
Yep. And hopefully a changing table.
And hopefully a new changing table.
We'll see.
So we'll see how that goes over. I'll let you guys know when it happens.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's all I really did this weekend was built the shelf, and then I got my adapters in for the tracks.
Okay.
For the snow tracks, for the Forerunner, the Ruby tracks. And all I need to do is set up the limiting chains.
Right.
To keep the tracks from inverting. And I haven't done it because I've been like, I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss everything for the rest of snow wheeling season. But we have a couple of really good storm fronts in right now.
We do.
And I'm like, I have these tracks, damn it. I want to go use them. I want to go use at least once. I have to use them at least once this year.
Right.
And
will the Forerunner even fit on your trailer?
It should.
Your axles are so wide right now.
Very wide.
Then you have to offset them with wheel spacers, and then the tracks are even wider.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be hanging over the width of your trailer?
It might be. If it is, it's only going to be like 1 or 2 inches.
Okay.
I've done the measurement and it should be like, I think I have like a 1/2 inch on either side, but I now that you mention it, I don't think I took into the equation the spacers.
Yeah.
The adapters.
Yeah.
So I might be hanging over the sides 1 to 2 inches of the trailer.
Funny.
But I'm going to see if I can set those up.
I wonder how tall you would be.
Oh my God. It's going to be so tall.
On the trailer.
Oh yeah. I'm on the deck over.
You're on a deck over trailer
mm-hmm.
on top of the Ruby tracks, on top of your lift,
mm-hmm.
on top of a full cab.
Uh-huh.
I mean, overpasses.
I don't think I'll be that tall.
13.9?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be that tall. The Forerunner
with your antennas?
Tires, all with the antennas. That's a good question. The Forerunner on tires is about 7 feet tall.
Okay. The trailer is 4 feet,
3.5,
3.5
on the deck over. So I'll be close. I think the antennas might hit. I might have to take the antennas off.
Right. So if you
overpasses,
if you're 7, you're 10, roughly 10 to 11 feet,
mm-hmm.
just on your tires on the deck over.
Uh-huh. The Ruby tracks only add, I want to say it's 2 to 3 inches.
Really?
Of height. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're equivalent. Hussman and I did the measurements because we were curious about how much height they was going to add to the Forerunner. And so we measured, and it's about the equivalent of a 42-inch tire.
Oh, not that bad then.
I'm on 40s right now. So yeah, it might
be 11, 12 feet.
Yeah.
And then your antennas go up how far?
One of them goes up a foot. The other one goes up 3 feet, 2.5 feet, 30 inches. So
just duct tape that one down.
Yeah. Pull it over like a Humvee.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, because these two storm fronts that the one we just had and the one we're experiencing kind of now is supposed to be dropping another 2 to 4 feet of snow up in the Sierras. And that's really where the track starts shining. Cause right now in the Sierras, we only have like 4 to 6 feet of snow, which is kind of the minimum.
And it's hard packed.
And it's hard packed right now. And so with this new layer of snow, now it's going to be like prime for tracks.
Yes.
And I'm on red zone baby watch right now. Mm-hmm. So I might also, if we can't go out today, I might try and just get the limiting chains set up by the weekend, and then see if I can go take a day trip on Saturday or Sunday.
Cool.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah.
If we can do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, keep me informed.
Okay.
I think I'm fairly free.
Okay.
On the weekend.
Sweet. So that's the tracks. I do have a fun story from KOH.
Oh, yeah. Hammers. Yeah, you were alluding to that earlier.
Uh-huh. So I have a chair that I absolutely love.
You have a lot of chairs.
I have a lot of chairs.
You buy chairs just like people buy candy.
I have a chair problem. I will admit that. Yeah. I do have a chair problem.
So what chair are you talking about? The one that has the footrest? It's a lounge chair that sort of has a footrest. It's dark gray.
It's a 2-person chair that reclines. So you have footrest and reclining.
The hammock chair?
No, not the hammock chair.
Not the hammock chair.
That footrest for the hammock chair is legit though. I love that footrest. It was 15 or $20 on Amazon. It's a universal footrest. You can add it onto pretty much any chair.
Right.
And so sitting in the hammock chair is awesome, but you end up, it's just awkward because my feet are just barely touching the ground when I sit in it. So I'm for other people that sit in it, their feet probably are not touching the ground.
I use that as a step. To get into the
hammock chair. That's funny. So I was like, this really needs a footrest. And so I found this universal footrest on Amazon. It's fantastic. Nice. It works great in the hammock chair. But no, the chair that I'm referencing is and I have 2-person chairs now.
Yeah. Okay. You have the Uline one.
I have the Uline one, and then I got
all the Paros sleep in at the shop.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's, warehouse. I haven't left that one at the warehouse.
Oh, there's one there. Isn't there one in your office?
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of another chair.
Yeah. The one, so I have a 2-person kind of quote unquote camping chair. That's more of, it actually compacts down to the same size as a regular camping chair.
Wow.
A big camping chair, but a single camping chair. Think of the really nice ARB ones.
Yeah.
It packs down to about that size, but it's a 2-person.
Okay.
So I have that one I just got. I'm excited to use it this summer if I get to go anywhere. And then I have the hammock chair. I have the reclining single person one with the fold out table that acts as a footrest as well. I was
thinking of.
Okay. So I have 2 of those, and those are great. They're just not that comfy.
They have a high back.
It's a high back, which I love.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
put your head on it.
The seat part is literally just a crisscross heavy duty nylon straps and then mesh.
Right.
And the mesh wears in, and then you're just sitting on this X, and you can feel your ass falling through the chair. But I love the design of it because it packs down super small, it reclines, and has this little table and footrest on it. So I have those 2. I have regular chairs, and then I have this, what's called, what do they call it? It's essentially...
It's a lazy
boy chair. So it reclines and has little tables that come out, side tables.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so little side tables that come out and then fold up.
Okay.
But it's all on solid fabric.
Yeah, it's like a lounge chair. It's like a one of those that would be out at the end when it's reclined. It's like one of those that's kind of out at the pool.
Yeah, 100%.
It looks similar to that.
Yep. And the whole fabric, it's solid fabric in this chair with a little headrest, but the whole fabric is suspended by bungee cords all the way around.
Right.
So it's kind of like the suspension chair. You sit in it and it just molds to you.
Yeah. It's super
comfy. And it's a 2-person chair.
Right.
You can just sit there and everybody who sits in it ends up leaning back and taking a nap. Nice. It's super comfy chair. I absolutely love it, but it doesn't pack down well at all.
Okay.
And so it's a pain in the ass to take camping. I don't really take it camping. I'll take it on longer trips where I have the truck. Or now that I have the Lance, I can throw it in the Lance.
Sure.
So I took it out to King of the Hammers, and I used that in the kitchen for running all the radio dispatch stuff for the teams that I was working on. At some point, we brought it out to the fire on Saturday night, I think it was.
Okay.
Saturday evening, 4400 race day, right? And we're waiting. I have to stay up late that day because I have to go get all the radio equipment off of Fisher, but I can't do that until course is cold at about 11 p.m.
Right.
And so we're all sitting around the fire having a good time. And Wayne brings out the rest of his margarita mixings.
No. Oh, no.
And he had some great tequila options, right?
Okay.
And so I'm just start mixing margaritas. I'm having a good time. And we look over at Eric and I'm like, Eric, I've heard that you certify people in beetle bombs.
Okay.
And he goes, I do. And I was like, I think it's time. I want to be certified teach me your ways.
Sure.
And so, I got to learn about the beetle balm and different iterations of what he's done to it to make it exactly the dimensions that he has it at.
Okay.
So, he was like, I used to play around with having a small, bigger one that's like a pancake. And, I figured, if you can just have more gasoline in it, then you get a bigger explosion, a bigger flame, and which is not actually the case. And he goes, there's a lot of different things that kind of go in. And he goes, I've probably done 15 to 20 different iterations of the container. And this is the one that works the best. And he explained all that. And then he explained how you have to set up the fire in order to get a correct ignition on this. And so we went through all that. I set up the fire, loaded up the beetle bomb, and then started.
There's probably a level of height for the gasoline that you add to it as well.
No, you just fill it up.
Just all the way up?
Fill it all the way up.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a vent hole in the top. And so you just fill it up until gasoline starts coming out the vent hole.
Oh.
And then you put a cork in it, shove the cork down as hard as you can. The harder you can do it, the bigger the fireball goes and the longer the lead up to the fireball. And so I got to light off my first one and we found the cork.
Oh,
that it came back down. And Gavin saw it. So Gavin picked it up and gave it to me. So that is now sitting on my desk at work.
Oh, nice.
My first beetle bomb cork. And so
did you have Eric sign it?
No, that would be good though. Sign the top because the whole thing is charred, right? But the top still has some clear spot on it. So I got to do 5, 6 of them.
Would it be the top or would it be the bottom
of the cork?
Of the cork. Because the bottom would be covered.
That's a good
would
question,
be enclosed,
right? Enclosed
and then
the
all of a
gas.
sudden, once the pressure reached a certain point, it would fly up.
Maybe it is the bottom then.
And the top would be exposed to the fire the whole time.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense because it's the gas coming out of the cork that explodes. So I wonder if it is the bottom side of it.
Yeah.
I'll have to run an experiment sometime, mark the bottom side and do one.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyways, we're going through this. I've got it all kind of figured out. Every cork that's shooting off is taking like 45 seconds to a minute, like clockwork to go and release.
Sure.
So
how many did you do?
5 or 6?
Okay.
7? I don't know, something like that. We had a 5 gallon. I think each container holds about half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon.
Sure.
We're lighting these guys off. We're in the middle of the desert. It's safe. We've got fire extinguishers around. And so I did one and somebody made a comment to me and everybody was like clearing out as I'm putting this in the fire, the beetle bomb in the fire. And he made a comment to me and I don't remember what it was, but I remember thinking, well, that's kind of rude, but it was also like a joking comment at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll show you. Mm-hmm. And so I put it in the fire and just gave it a little twist. So that it was about a 10 degree, 15 degree angle kind of towards him where he was sitting.
Spite.
And he was sitting in my chair.
Oh, no.
And so I did that intentionally thinking that it was going to be another 45 seconds or so before this cork lets go.
Sure.
And so I figured, it's going to come over and the vent hole kind of sprays gas out as it's heating up. And so you get this nice little piddle of this little flame stream coming out of the fire. It's only going out of the fire maybe a foot, but it's still kind of, I'm like, just kind of go in his direction and be like, that's funny, blah, blah, blah. The cork let go in about 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so he just barely got out of there in time and unburnt gasoline came down on my chair.
Oh, bummer.
And then fire came down on my chair.
Oh, no. And then your chair caught on fire.
And then my chair caught on fire and I immediately ran over and tried to kind of put it out and throw sand on it. And I realized, I was like, this is dumb. Even if I put the fire out, the chair's going to be charred. It's done. So I immediately, after I kind of realized that, I was like, this is a lost cause. I just grabbed the chair and dragged it over and laid it on the fire. Oh. I was like, this is dumb. Having it out here outside of the fire now in an uncontained area, that's a bad area. I was like, the chair's gone. We just need to make this a safe scenario again. So I dragged the chair over, threw it on the fire, and donated my chair to Johnson Valley.
To the KOH gods.
To the KOH gods, yeah. So I don't have my chair anymore.
Aww.
Sad.
So you really brought it upon yourself to get rid of your chair.
I totally did. And it was one of those things, you watch videos on Instagram of like insta karma happening,
Yeah. Yeah.
This was 1000% that scenario.
Yeah. Here you were trying to like tease somebody that made a sly comment at you, and now you ruined your own chair.
Exactly. Yep. It was gone forever now. So now I need to place another Uline order to get another chair for shipping boxes for more flights.
That's funny.
So yeah, that was the fun story kind of left over from KOH. And then my last update is I got my tags for the 4Runner, my registration tags. Yeah. I think we talked about it where I was like, you guys have had my registration paid and you've had my smog certificate for 3 months and you haven't done anything with it. And so literally, I think I messaged them and had that conversation with the DMV on Monday. By Friday, I had the tags at my house.
Jeez.
So
they couldn't take care of that for the last 3 months.
No, I'm just like, what is it about your guys' system? It has to be something with their system. Like I can't imagine there's that many dumb people working at the DMV, or maybe that many people who just don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand why they couldn't connect the dots. Here's my money for a registration. Mm-hmm. My registration is yet to get paid. Mm-hmm. Like, why can't you pay my registration so that I could get my tags?
Yeah.
Like, you already have my money.
Yeah. You have record of having my money.
Yeah. I have record of you taking my money out of my bank account. Why can't you do your job?
Yes.
And give me my tags.
Yeah. It's almost like the system is not automated. So they have to somebody has to go into the account and say paid, release the tags.
Yeah.
Because the same thing
your
happened.
Vehicle's stolen.
Maybe. No, I think that actually got cleared up. I haven't been pulled over yet.
Oh, okay.
Since the last one, since I got pulled over at gunpoint, I haven't got pulled over again. I've passed a lot of cops, and I've passed a few that have like kind of got over behind me and then got back out and kept going. So I'm like, I think somebody filed the 180 report, it's called, to mark it as recovered. So it doesn't show up as stolen anymore.
That would be nice.
That would be super nice. But yeah, I mean, the same thing happened when I bought and I had to pay for, I think it was the new plates. I paid the $25 to have new plates made, and they just had it on the account as a $25 credit rather than having it as new plates are supposed to get made now.
Right.
So I waited like 2 or 3 months for the new plates. They never came. Like, what's going on? They're like, oh, that's weird. We have $25 on a credit on your account. And I'm like, yeah, that was for the new plates. And they're like, oh, it never got marked that way. And I'm like, why not? What's wrong with your guys' system here?
So much.
So yeah. Anyways, I think everything is finally solved from the DMV, and that 9-month long saga now is done.
Yeah. I need to go on to their website and see what's up with Becky.
Yeah.
That's what's the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's it on my end. Do you have anything else?
That's all I got, man.
Cool. Well, if you guys have any questions, you can get a hold of us on Instagram. I'm over at Snail Trail 4x4. Tyler's at 4x4 Toyota Tyler. Mm-hmm. You can email us at Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com. Mm-hmm. Or you can phone in and you can get on our new segment, Snail Mail. And that phone number is area code 345-4744. Brain fart there for a second.
Yep. Cool. I like it, man. Jimmy, any final words for everybody out there?
Do you need to take some wine home?
Ooh, maybe. And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I have a joke.
Oh, wait, is that? Do you have a joke? Or
I have a joke.
Okay, I'm ready.
Did you know
the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man that lives on Muffin Lane Way?
Drury Way. Drury Lane.
Drury Lane. Why is it Drury Lane?
Drury Lane. I've never understood that. Drury.
Maybe that's a cooking tool that I don't know. But did you know that 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11 are the same thing?
No.
Yes, they are, because 10 plus 10 is 20 and 11 plus 11 is 22.
Got it. Okay. I think